Good evening, everyone. Right, I'm speaking to a few people, and they've asked for a basics of coil building video. I'm going to run through what you need. You know, the main things you'll need to build a coil. We'll dive down. I'm going to use this coiling because it needs a coil change. I'm going to use this one. It's a really good RTA. I really enjoy it. I'll show you how to build on it, wick it, and then obviously we'll come back vape on it. But before all that, what you need, okay, so first of all, you need your RTA. Now there is single coil RTAs, there's dual coil RTAs. What I like about this one is if I want to put one coil in it, I can. If I want to put two coils in it, I can. I can just about squeeze 3 coils in it, but that's for obviously the more advanced builder. Going to use that one. That's my work one. It needs a coil change anyway. But you also need some cotton. So I'm going to be using the fuzz from the Yorkshire Vapor. The wire I will be using, I did quite a simple build, so I'm going to use some 26 gauge Countful. It's the Coil Master wire. It's quite nice stuff. It's quite easy to work with. You need your tool. This is a 3mm bit, so my inner diameter will be 3mm. That's just how I prefer my coils. More surface area, the better the flavour, really. Use that. You need a pair of scissors. This comes with the Coil Master V2 kit, which I have. It's in better days, but I do have it. You need a pair of needle nose tweezers because they're handy, so handy. Ceramic tweezers I don't have anymore. I put them in a bin because they broke. But I just use these for pretty much everything. So what I'm going to do, oh yeah, and you also need your tool. Now this is a little tri tool. It's got a small Allen key, big Allen key, and then a screwdriver bit. Quite handy if you've got, say, like a Smock TFV8, the Prince, or the TFV12, the TFV8 Baby, or if you've got the Cleto 120, things like that. You can get what this is. This is an RBA base. This comes with pre-built coils. All you got to do is put some cotton in it. Make sure it's wicking up alright when you put it in, and this will replace your stock coil. So if you have a TFV8 lying about and you want to get into building, this is how I started. I well, messed about until I got it right, really. That was the main thing. So I used that. Now obviously I've moved on to better flavours and stuff like that. It's the coiling for me, I don't get no leaking. I know a lot of people get leaking issues with them. If you wick it right, you're not going to get any leaks. If you over wick it, you're going to get dry hits. I say if you don't wick it enough, you're going to get leaks. But I've got everything I need in front of me, and obviously you need juice. So let's dive down. Let's have a look, and I'll show you how to build a coil. Okay, one other thing I didn't mention: blue roll. Try not to use toilet paper because it just gives up too easy. Blue roll, I can get it from work, I can get it from my father-in-law, which is always handy. But it's handy because with the coiling, one of the best things I like about this is you can crack the top off if it doesn't catch some cotton on its way out. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it creates air traps in the juice flow holes, which actually holds your juice in the tank. But right, there we go. Stay that. That is disgusting. It went on me today. Tasted absolutely vile. Even looks like your hair's got in there somehow. If I can get it out. Oh, lovely. That's quite nice somehow. Right. So, let's say needle nose. These are fantastic. I'll take this build out, get rid of it, and then we'll start from scratch. And I'll go step by step. Little tri tool, small Allen key. You can see the holes in there. So it might be easier if I take the tank off. I need to get myself a little build deck really, because they're very handy. So I'll unscrew both sides. Don't unscrew them too much because they do fall out. You ain't gonna unscrew them that much. Right. Once again, needle nose tweezers underneath, pop them out straight inside. Typical. If I don't drop the build deck, this is what the inside of the coiling looks like. So what you have is you've got your grub screws going here. There's 1, 2, I'll find it, 3, 4, and then you've got 4 airflow slots. You got a big one on the side, big one, 2 big ones in the middle, and then a big one this side. See, with this, what I like is you can push your coils over to this one if that's what you fancy, or you can have them, if you don't like them, straight in line with your mouth, or you can have them over these ones so air comes up, hits it straight away. This air does sort of come out at an angle, but what it mostly does, it comes up and it hits the concave of the inside of the build cover, and it just cools things down a bit and makes things a bit nicer. I don't find it mutes any flavour or anything, but I'm going to give that a quick wipe over and then we'll start. I wanted to show you how to take them out as well, because if some of you, like, you might want to buy a second hand one because it's cheaper or something like that. When you're looking at thinking, well, where do I go from here? How do I get this out of here? So it's never an issue. So I think we're doing alright for likes. I think I've got 85 likes now. Need to get a few more going. Definitely need to get a few more going. I am on YouTube, DS Vapes on YouTube. You can't miss my build picture on there. It's a triple coil in there, triple dual parallel coil in there, which is a tight squeeze, but as you'll see on the picture on YouTube, it's a rather pretty looking build. So there we have it. Lovely. You've got your airflow down there. I don't know if you can hear it, but it almost clicks. So you've got completely closed. 1, 2, 3, completely open. And you can, it does hold. If you want it like smack bang in the middle, it will hold before the click, so it's not too much of an issue. O-rings, you've got slightly protruding 510 with a slightly protruding little, whatchamacallit, can't remember what it's called now. On the bottom, coiling, VV, blah blah blah, all their codes, designed, manufactured by Vandy Vape. And the signature on the bottom there. Right, so screw it back on, and always make sure either your mod's off or it's locked. Always lock mine, because when you got a pulse of coils near the end, then you'll see why I only lock it and not turn it off, because the amount of builds I do, it gets annoying. So let's get onto the wire. The wire, like I said, I'm going to be using is 26 gauge Countful A1 Core Master lineup, just from the local shop. I needed some. So I popped down and grabbed it. So if I can find the end of where I tucked it under last time I used it, give me a bit fiddly. Alright, so for this one, pulled the right bit of wire out. Yep, this one. So that I'd class. See, I've gone straight all the way around back to there. That I would class as one coil. Then do the same again, all the way back round. Tuck it in. Cut it. The build I'm going to be showing you is a dual parallel. Some of you might think, oh, that sounds really difficult, or just the sound of it might put you off. Please don't let it put you off. The trick with this is it is an easy build, and it's a really good one. I still use it now. It's currently in my wife's gold coiling. She's using it. She's rocking some Fogmaker's fruit pastels. So first of all, cut it in half, fold it in half, cut it. That's the first step. And then you've got two pretty long strands of wire. Then what you want to do with that, you fold that in half, squeeze it down like that. And this is where either your wire cutters or a pair of pliers. I'm actually going to use a pair of pliers. These also come with the Coil Master kit. But just grab the end of them and pinch that down so that, trying to get a better view of it. See that there? It's nice and tight in there, tight together. Because the trick is you've got these tiny little holes there. You've got to get this wire through. Put the wire through. So they're like threading a needle, but easy. So then anyone out there with butterfingers, even you'll be able to do this. So grab hold of the wire and see that? I want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there you go, those 5 wraps, and you've pretty much got your coil. A little trick of mine, you may have seen me do this in other videos. I like to space my coil slightly, so just get a nail in there, just put it out of touch if you can get 2 coils, not 3, otherwise it really throws it out of sorts. There we go, like that, and then just push it all back down, and look at that, lovely. It gives it a perfect space, and it's just really easy to work with them. And then I'll flip it back over, put it back on the coil jig, straighten that other lead out, boom, done. That is one coil ready made, ready to go. Do that, show you it. So you've got 2 coils wrapped together, nicely spaced, no struggling, no mess, nice and simple, and that's your first one. So your second one, it's exactly the same. Bring it over, bend it down, grab the end of it, and just squeeze it shut. Exactly the same. You grab 2 wires. If you think, oh, they look a bit tangled, just give them a little twist out, give them a little untangle, make your life a hell of a lot easier. And once again, there you go again, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And like I said, grab your, oh well, you can see this, I've got an extra light on. Grab the coils, pull them out, see how they stretch? That is what's going to give you your perfect space. Then boom, push the coils back down, give them a little squeeze. Perfectly spaced every time. That's how I like to space my coils. I don't like to space them when they're on the tank, because it can go wrong. I've tried doing it before and one's about a foot wider than the other because you've slipped and caught it. And then again, straighten the old coil out. Don't have to be perfect. No, I've been building now best part of a year and a half, and my coils aren't perfect, but they work, so it's good enough for me. So that's it. So we've got tank and 2 coils. Right, now it's all about cutting the coils down. Where have I put it? There it is. How I like to adjust or work out how to cut my coils. What I do is I put the coil up with the coil in. Where the wicket go, or where the grub screws are, I sit the coil in that gap. And then you sort of just about see where you want to cut it. I like to cut it literally about 3mm. See that there? About 3mm above the outside of the airflow. And that's just how I like them, where I like them to sit, how I like them to sit. Everyone's different. If you want to try and cut them shorter, you can. Obviously don't go too short, otherwise you won't get your coil in. That on the plus side, I've only got one bit to cut this side. The other trick is not to make a mess. Another trick I do is once I've cut one, so I've got one cut, that's ready to go in the coiling now, that's ready to go in the tank. Happy days. To make sure you cut them both level, instead of having to try and measure it out again, getting the coiling back over, stick on the coil jig. And you can see there, I've got them lined up. So all you've got to do is grab it, that is in my finger, clear them off, and then with that side, straighten the coils out. Sometimes you just got to do that. Slide it back over on the other side, and do exactly the same again. Cut it, make sure you don't lose the cutting, because if you lose one, you get on the carpet, you walk along, and then all of a sudden you've got a bit of metal hanging at your foot, which isn't pleasant, and this stuff can get sharp. I had a mate that always used to cut on an angle, and one day he stood on it and that hurt him a lot. Right, so with here, you've got your, I don't know if you can really see it, but just along there you have the peak insulator. So this, what side is it? That side is your positive, that side is your negative. So that side positive, that side negative. Right, so put your coils in, just push them in, see how they sit. If you see that, do that nicely just above the airflow, and then get your little tool, and it's literally just a case of tightening them down. Don't worry if your coil goes a little bit squiff or wonky, because I'll show you how to straighten them out in a sec. It's not an issue. If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to pause it and have a cup of tea. If you find this a bit lengthy, please let me know, and I'll do a quick version. But I like to show everyone properly. So you see that it's a bit wonky there. So I'm just gonna get my coiling rod or jig or whatever you want to call it, and it's literally just a case of straightening it out. See, I like my coils pretty much in the middle. It's quite close together. Like everything from the coil to be coming straight up, not bouncing off any sides or anything like that. There you go. My coil straight in, nice and tidy. That's what I love about this. Some people might be, if you're doing this and watching this video, might, oh, the legs are going everywhere and looks like it's unspinning or something like that. Don't worry, just push it all back together. It goes back together. It can't come apart because you've wrapped them together. They actually can't come apart. So I'll squeeze this one in. You probably hear my wife and little boy downstairs learning words. Yeah, he's doing his colours at the minute. It's quite cute. It says purple very well and black, which is really nice. And he does try to say other things, but his favourite thing is a fist pump. No one can go wrong with a fist pump, can they? He'll just come up to you and he'll just go boom. Alright, that's the second coil in. But see there, right, prime example. There you can see, I don't know how well you can see it, that light's quite blinding actually. See the coil's gone astray. Let's try running away. It's not an issue. Voodoo's. Put your jig in. Square it in there, because as soon as you've got this in there, lined it up, there you have it. You've got two fantastic coils ready to go. Straighten them up a little bit more. Bring them into the middle a bit better. So now the airflow will come up that way, it will come up that way, it will come straight up the middle of there. Give you plenty of flavour straight up into your mouth. These are the where you put your wick. It's what we're just about to do next. I'll pulse the coil, show you how to pulse the coils, and then go from there. Right, this is why I lock it instead of turning it off, because new coil, yes, that's reading 0.175. I'm going to turn, oh, see, lock. Turn the watch down. If I got to turn it on, you've got to wait for it to boot up every time, and that's not for me. I'll really turn it down. But about 49 watts. Try and, if I can't make it a bit darker, might be easier to see the coils pulsing. You see them, if they start glowing from the middle out, it's quite warm. Nice and together. You want to do it together, which is the best way. If they don't together, you'll get a slow release of vapour. If they go bang at the same time together, that's perfect. That's exactly what you want. You don't miss timing. You can play havoc on your mod, you can play havoc on your batteries, play havoc on your tank. It's just a no-go sort of thing. So once you've got them pulse and they're both glowing lovely, like that. That is near enough perfect. Let them cool down for a sec. Give them a blow, cool them down. Just looks as well. Always helps. Try and get them as level as you can, because then they will heat up the same. Get them about as level as you can. See, that looks better already. Look at that, nice and level there. But like I said, this is a nice easy build. It's not a difficult build at all. It's something you can practice with. You can do 5 wraps, you could do 4 wraps, you could do 6, 7 wraps if you wanted to. If you've got the airflow to help or to let you be able to do that. I am going to be using the fuzz cotton for this build, so I'm just going to get my scissors, cut a bit off. You can probably hear them snipping away. Tuck that away, put the lid straight back on it. I thought a horrible habit of ruining things. So I've cut off some cotton. What you do, you got to try and gauge how much you're going to need. So mine's 3mm ID, or in the diameter. So probably go with that one. You can wrap these at 2.5mm. Brings your ohms down a bit though. I like them like this. I'm not straining the batteries. I'm using Samsung 25 hours. So a build like this, it's not going to strain the batteries. But right, with this, cut it in half. That, probably see that. So about a thumb's length. Cut it in half. Now, the easiest way I find to do this is you get the end of the cotton and then just give it a twist. So it's like that. And then you can just guide it through, grab the tail, start pulling it through. Right, cotton tightness. Now this is key. If you pull it and the whole coil moves, like that coil ends up over here somewhere, then the cotton's in there too tight. It's in there far too tight. If it slightly moves, but then the cotton pulls through, but you can actually pull the mod from it, that's how I personally like it. I like it in there tight. It holds a lot of juice that way, keeps a lot of juice near the coils where you want them. More flavour, better vape. It's just that. It's just my preferred way of doing it. Everyone's different. Everyone I meet's different. I know people that like a little bit of cotton. I know people that squeeze so much cotton in there you don't think it's even going to work. Same again on the other side. I always do it the same way. Don't know, it's just me again. So you pull this through, and there's your wicks in. Right, now for me with the coiling, I find the best way to cut it is you pull that down, not too tight, and then you've got this little ridge here. If you run the scissors along there and then cut, and then that brings the bottom of the wick will sit just because that is just on the inside of there. There's that lip, and then it's exactly level with that silver bit right there. Just exactly how you want it. So it's a bit more difficult this side because obviously it's a lot more fluffier. But do one at a time if you want. Snip, and then even if you've snipped one, you can lift it up, line them up, and give it a good snip. Probably take a bit more off of there actually. But it's easier to take away than it is to add. That's one of the main things I'll always say about when you're wicking up. It's easier to take away than to add. So if you do it and you ain't got enough cotton in there, you've got to redo the whole cotton. If you do it and there's too much, you just got to trim it down a little bit. Another thing I like to do is I get my needle nose and I'll just fluff it out. Fluff it up. Make it all nice and fluffy. The fluffier it is, the easier it's going to soak up juice. So the better vape you're going to get. You're not going to get any dry hits. But where I've still got quite a bit of cotton in there, you're not actually going to like leak or anything like that. I think that's where a lot of people go wrong with these. So you get it, tuck it in, and that's it. That's one side in. You tidy it up, get the waifs and strays, tuck them in so they don't get caught when you go through, get the tank on, and push that bit of cotton in. If it gets like I say, if you see a wave and stray, just tuck it in, it'll go in. So on the other side, so give it a little fluff out. tuck that in. You probably hear these stenders in the background now. That's half the reason why I'm up here. So you got two coils. Look at that. They don't look perfect, but they will work very well. So the next thing to do is find your juice wherever you've put it. It's up here in this drawer. What should I go with? Yeah, I've got custard cream. It's Fog Maker's custard cream. It's my go-to everyday juice. I vape it all day. Some people think it's too sweet. My wife thinks it's too sweet, but yeah, she vapes fruit pastels all day. So it's a bit of an odd one, odd comment, I think. But always just give it a little bit of juice on there. I like to wick it all out. But like I say, this is personal preference. If you want to put a load of juice in the tank, let it sit for 10 minutes. That usually works. Or if you want to just drip a little bit on here before you put it on the tank. You do make a bit of a mess this way, if I'm honest, but that's how I want to do it. So that's how I'm doing it. Knocking everything over. Right. So there you go. Juiced up, wicked up, coils in. If you follow this and get it within half hour like I have, you've done well. I can, off video, I can have a coil in about 8 minutes. Done, ready, gone, out the door sort of thing. I can build really quickly, but I wanted to go through these stages by stages with you to help you guys more than anything. That's what these videos are about. I want to help you guys. You know, I don't get nothing out of it. I goes out, I buys my gear. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have a good job, working out on the roads. But little shout out from Mike Banham. He wanted this video. Tom Hall, you wanted this video as well. And I know a few other people might have been like, "Ooh, it'd be a good video to do." So here it is. How to build and wick on the coiling. Pretty much the basics of building it. People think, oh, I don't want to start building my own coils, it can be a pain. It's really not. That there's probably cost me about 25p. Probably even less than that, because the amount of cotton you get, the amount of coil wire you get for your money is phenomenal. Compared to coils where you pay £6 a coil, that coil right there has just cost me about 25p. And when it gets a bit black, like the other one, like these ones over here, these filthy ones, I could take the cotton out of that, heat them up, and then dip them in cold water. I have done a video on that, and it cleans them. Dry them out, re-wick them, and you've got fresh coils again. It's that simple. So I want to throw a little bit more juice on it. I'll go back up to get in your face again, because I like doing that. And then we'll have a vape on it. And that'll be it. Right, so stick the tank back on. If you feel any restrictiveness, that'd be the cotton catching. Take your cap off and then sort it out, because if you start pulling cotton all over the place, it does mess it up. So that's that. Get a bit of blue roll or kitchen roll, works. Toilet paper, like I said, toilet paper just gives up too easy. I was using it to begin with, and yeah, it just falls apart. There's that, put that there. And what I like to do as well with my bit of blue roll, all my rubbish goes onto that, on there, all my little wire cuttings and everything goes on there. Then I roll that up, put it in the bin. It's away from little man. If he puts his hand in the bin, he's going to come across a soft bit of rag, not a sharp bit of metal. It's just little things you do. But right, let's go back up top and have a vape on it. So there we go. Build and wick on the coiling. Basics of building. I do hope it helps. If you watch the video, it'll be on YouTube and on Facebook. Give it a like, give it a share, give it a thumbs up. Let's have a vape on it, see what it's like. It's obviously where I pulsed the coils, it was at 49 watts. And I turn it up now, I'd say about, I'll start low. I'll start at 60 watts. There you go. Most of the voices do 60 watts. That's lovely. Straight away, instant flavour. Compared to the pre-built coils, these taste so much better. They really do. Some of the RDTAs, the RTAs, you can get RTAs, you can get RDAs, which are drippers. You drip the juice onto the cotton. You just got to check it quite often. I don't mind it. I've got a mesh RDA. Obviously they hold no juice. Pulse 24. But I use them for squonking. But you get a little big bottle of juice there. You squeeze it, it pushes the juice up into the tank, wicks everything up for you. You get RDTAs, which are, you have this sort of thing on top, now you can see it, and then underneath you have a tank along here that will hold juice, and you push your wicks down into that, and that's how it wicks it up. They usually hold 5-6 ml of juice, something like that. My squonk holds 10 ml. I think this is a 6 ml glass on the coiling, and this is a 2 ml glass. If you buy it these days in the shop, it will come with this glass, but most shops will give you this glass and the extension for free. If they try charging for it, it's a bit cheeky because it used to come with it. But other than that, right, so at 60, let's turn it up, let's go up to 70 watts. This is why I prime the cotton the way I do. I'll fill it full of juice, I can vape it straight away. So 70 watts on the Alien. No, the Alien doesn't come in this colour. I have resprayed it myself. It's Nardo Grey with a Ford Purple Velvet metallic. You may think, oh, it's a bit chipped and that, but I take this to work and it's already lasted longer than the smock paint. So it's doing alright. There you go. It's a bit warmer, but it's a lot more fuller of flavour. The fuzz cotton, if you can get that over cotton bacon, get it over cotton bacon. If you're on a budget, cotton bacon, there's nothing wrong with it, there really isn't, but to a experienced builder, there is a difference. The fuzz soaks up juice better, there's a better flavour, you get a hell of a lot less dry hits, I have to admit. It's just really nice to work with. It doesn't seem to catch on your pliers or anything. Cotton bacon can. Fuzz is really fluffy. Juices is up to you. Obviously that's a personal thing. I like my biscuits and random bits really. Marshmallows, cakes. They tend to be more my favourite. Don't get me wrong, I do like some sweet ones. The fruit pastels isn't bad. It's not my cup of tea. I find it takes my breath away a little bit, but it is really nice. If I had that, or say like apple, an apple, I'd probably vape the fruit pastels. Fog makers, they do a massive lineup. Big shout out to them. I've been using their juice for the best part of 2 years. Can't fault it. Best mix of juice, 70-30 or 80-20. I wouldn't go any thicker than that because you might start getting dry hip problems. I wouldn't really go any lower than 60-40 because it becomes really thin and really runny, and that's when you're gonna have to start really putting some cotton in there. But I don't know if you see that bubble. Can you see that? Oh, it's not gonna zoom, is it? There's a bubble right there. So it's not going to focus, but if you see bubbles, and you see it better that way, if you see bubbles, it's wick right. That is the air going into the wick and pushing the liquid going into the wick and pushing the air out. That's exactly what you want. If you see bubbles, I've had 2 puffs and I'm already getting bubbles. Perfect. So if you put it in dry and want to let it sit for 10 minutes, you'll come back and you'll have like half a tank of juice missing. But if that happens and it's not running all down your tank or anything like that, then you've wicked it right. If you do it, come back and it's still full of juice, check your wicks. If they're still dry, prime them. If it's still the same, if you start getting that taste of burning cotton, it tastes a bit like burning hairs. So if you've ever burnt the hairs on your arm or something like that, it's not a pleasant smell. It's definitely not a pleasant taste. Coils, when they go, yeah, they go. There's no other way to explain that. It's like sucking on a hot 2p. If they really go, it's like sucking on a hot 2p, and it's disgusting. It's something I don't advise anyone to do. Mods, for most vapors, dual 18650 mod like this, perfect. This Smock Alien goes up to 220 watts. Battery door on the bottom, two 18650 batteries on the bottom, perfect. My favourite mod, I have to say, Geek Vape. This thing's amazing. It's a dual 21700 mod. There's a big shout out to Geek Vape. That is fantastic. And iJoy as well. I love the capo. It's just a shame it leaks down here a little bit. But other than that, I've got the iJoy Captain and various drippers and tanks and stuff like that. We'll be reviewing a load more, doing a load more reviews. I need to get more videos up. So this is from me to you. I hope it helps, and well, latest vapors.